My children, something extraordinary is unfolding at this very moment, and it is no coincidence that these words reach you. A message from heaven, uniting the loving voice of the Virgin Mary and the righteous strength of Saint Michael the Archangel, has just been revealed and must be heeded before time closes like a door that will never open again. This is not a common narrative nor an empty belief. We are facing a prophetic and urgent call prepared for those who can perceive the signs and listen with their hearts. If at any moment you have felt that the world has changed in a disturbing way and that the events around us speak louder each day, know that this message was intended for you, and today heaven calls us. Ignoring this appeal may cost you much more than you imagine. Here you will understand the profound meaning of the revelations transmitted by the Virgin Mary and discover how these words not only warn of what is approaching but offer a safe path to protect your soul and your family amidst the difficult times that have already begun to manifest. And I need to be clear with you. Leaving now without listening to the end could be the biggest mistake of your life. This is merely a warning, a beacon lit in the darkness, an urgent call to those who wish to remain steadfast while humanity undergoes intense trials. To turn away now is to close one's ears to an alert coming from heaven itself. Saint Michael the Archangel, in his mission as guardian and celestial warrior, brings a message laden with truth and authority. Time is running out, and only faith will be able to sustain those who wish to resist what is approaching. This revelation places us before a decisive choice, and as the supreme expression of love, the Virgin Mary manifests herself with maternal tenderness, not only to warn but to guide, protect, and illuminate the path amidst the darkness. Her words are a cry for sincere prayer, for conversion of heart, and for an immediate response. There are profound details hidden in these messages that only the attentive will be able to perceive, and today we will reveal these signs with a clarity you will not find elsewhere, deciphering the words of Saint Michael and the signs left by the Virgin Mary so that you understand why heaven is speaking now about the global blackout and what this means for your life and for those you love, every dedicated moment. This message is a step towards something greater, and every moment ignored is a lost chance to prepare. You didn't arrive here by chance. These words were brought to you with a purpose. The signs are all around us and are already happening. The question is whether you are prepared. Stay until the end and discover the dangers revealed by Saint Michael, the appeal of love and hope from the Virgin Mary, and how these celestial warnings can transform your life before it's too late. Share this message with your family and friends. Don't keep this truth to yourself. Remember that heaven guides us, but the decision to listen or ignore will always be ours. Prepare yourself for a journey that will mark your soul, my dear child. I know how you have been feeling, and I know what has troubled your heart and weighed on your mind. I am here to listen to your pain and support you through what seems unbearable. Trust and surrender this burden into my hands, for my strength is sufficient and my love is infinite. If you feel it in your heart, share in the comments what you have been facing. By doing so, you will allow others to learn. Unite in prayer, and together we will seek solace and peace for your soul. Always remember that you are never alone. I am with you now and forever. Reflect on this. Have you ever wondered why some souls are chosen to carry messages capable of changing the destiny of many lives? My beloved children, once again I come to you, not to cause fear in your hearts, but to awaken your sleeping consciences. Listen to me with an open heart, for what I reveal to you does not stem from a desire to frighten, but from the urgency of preparing souls that can still be saved. The time in which you live has become heavy, marked by human choices that have strayed from the light of God and inclined towards greed, pride, and power without love. And I have been permitted to reveal to you that a great blackout is announced for the time to come, and many will see it only as a material, technological, or political event. But I tell you, my children, behind the outer darkness there will be an even greater attempt to extinguish the inner light of souls. Man's greed, which has placed profit above life, control above dignity, and power above God, will open deep breaches through which evil will try to act. In this time of darkness, Satan will seek to confuse, divide, and dominate. He will take advantage of fear, misinformation, and despair to strengthen the plan of him who wishes to rise as Lord over consciences regarding nations and fragile hearts. Politics will be used as an instrument, and many who should protect the people will lead the masses away from the truth. Do not think, my children, that the greatest danger will be the lack of light in homes. The greatest danger will be the lack of faith in hearts. I warn you because there is still time. Prepare yourselves not with hatred, not with violence, not with despair, but with living, vigilant, and persevering faith. Protect your homes spiritually, for the home is the first church, the first refuge, the first invisible battlefield. When I speak to you of doors and windows, I speak not only of wood and glass, but also of the entrances to the soul, that which you see, hear, accept, and allow to remain within you. The rosary, my children, is not an ordinary object. It is a sign of trust, a silent link between heaven and earth. When placed with faith, it becomes a constant reminder that you are not alone. The oil of Saint Benedict, used with respect and discernment, reminds you that true protection comes from God, and that evil does not prevail where there is humility and sincere surrender. Do not wait for chaos to take hold before seeking God. Do not postpone until tomorrow the conversion that is already asked of you today. Many will say that all this is exaggeration, that nothing will happen, that faith is a thing of the past. So it was in other times, and yet pain came to those who closed their eyes and hardened their hearts. Remain steadfast, my children. Darkness may try to spread, but it will never be greater than the light that comes from God. Those who cultivate faith, vigilance, and fidelity will not be dominated by fear, nor by lies, nor by deceit. I will be close to those who persevere, to those who do not compromise their faith, to those who choose to love God even when the world chooses otherwise. Heed this call while there is still time. Prepare yourselves with serenity, strengthen your souls, and guard your homes. Heaven does not abandon its children, but expects them not to abandon the truth either. Heaven speaks when humanity is silent to the truth, and I return because many have been lost in the noise of the world, in empty promises and false securities that man has built with his own hands. The time that is approaching will be a time of trial, not only for bodies, but above all for souls. Many have placed excessive trust in what is fleeting: systems, structures, riches, and human power. When all this falters, when the material light goes out, many will discover that they too have let the light of faith within themselves be extinguished. That is why I call upon you now, before silence and confusion try to dominate your homes and your thoughts. Do not understand the blackout merely as the absence of energy, my children. It will also be a sign of the fragility of man who considered himself invincible, self-sufficient, distant from God. Greed has led to decisions without wisdom, alliances without justice, and choices without love. Where man has excluded God, he has opened space for evil to slowly infiltrate, unnoticed, like a shadow that grows at dusk. During this period, many will be seduced by speeches that promise order, security, and immediate salvation, but which hide the loss of spiritual freedom. Satan does not appear with horns and shouts. He appears with false solutions, with smooth words, with proposals that seem reasonable in human eyes. Thus, many will be led to exchange faith for convenience, truth for apparent tranquility, eternal light for temporary comfort. Therefore I tell you, watch. Watch your thoughts, your words, your choices. The greatest battle will not be visible, but will take place within each one. There will be pressure to renounce faith, to silence your hope, to accept as normal that which violates God's law. Do not allow, my children, fear to decide for you what only love should decide. Preparing yourselves does not mean accumulating possessions or feeding panic. To prepare yourselves means to strengthen your souls, to reconcile yourselves with God, to abandon that which separates you from grace. It means restoring dialogue within the home, teaching children the path of truth, purifying environments that have become spiritually cold. Where there is sincere prayer, evil does not take root. Where there is living faith, darkness finds no dwelling place. When I speak to you of the rosary, I speak of perseverance, humility, and trust. It reminds you that each day is a surrender, that each mystery is a step taken even when the complete path is not visible. When I speak to you of the oil of Saint Benedict, I speak of consecration, of the inner decision to belong to God and not to the forces that rise up against him. None of this acts by itself. Everything depends on the heart that believes and surrenders to the divine will. Protect your homes, yes, but above all protect your souls. Close the doors to hatred, division, lies, and indifference. Do not allow despair to enter through the windows of your hearts. There will be days when the world seems confusing, unstable, and hostile to faith. But remember, you are never abandoned. Heaven accompanies every step of those who remain faithful, even when they stumble, even when they cry, even when they feel fear. I ask you, my children, return to the essential. God does not ask for immediate perfection, but for sincerity. He does not ask you to understand everything, but to trust. Many still have time to change course, to restore forgotten faith, to abandon paths that lead to emptiness. Do not harden your hearts. What seems distant to you today may become urgent tomorrow. When darkness tries to advance, remember that a single flame is enough to break through the gloom. Be that flame. Guard the faith when many lose it. Guard hope when many give up. Guard love when the world chooses coldness. Thus, even amidst trials, your souls will remain standing, sustained by the grace of God. My beloved children, how many of you have walked without realizing the weight your souls carry? How many have lived through repetitive days, restless hearts and weary consciences, gradually drifting away from the presence of God? I speak to you with a mother's sorrow, not to accuse, but to awaken. Sin, my children, rarely presents itself abruptly. It infiltrates daily life, small choices, silent concessions, until the soul no longer recognizes its own distance from the light. I see many living as if God were distant, as if evil were merely an old word, as if everything could be resolved only with human strength. But I tell you, when life distances itself from God, emptiness grows, and this emptiness becomes fertile ground for confusion, for profound sadness, and for the loss of the meaning of life. Evil does not begin with great falls. It begins when the heart ceases to watch. Therefore, I call you to conversion. Conversion is not fear. It is not despair. It is not punishment. Conversion, it is a return. It is recognizing that the path taken has not brought peace, that the choices made have wounded the soul, that the heart needs to learn again to love what is true, and God never tires of waiting. But man's time is fragile, and many indefinitely postpone what should be decided today. I reveal to you, my children, that a silent evil desires to take over the lives that remain distracted, cold, and indifferent. I speak not only of visible events, but of an inner obscuring, the normalization of sin, the loss of the fear of God, the confusion between good and evil. When sin ceases to cause pain in the conscience, the soul begins to sicken without realizing it. This evil grows where there is no prayer, where there is no repentance, where there is no humility to recognize one's own errors. It strengthens when man believes he can do everything, that he does not need God, that he does not need to change. And so, little by little, many begin to live without hope, without true joy, without lasting peace, even surrounded by things and distractions. Come to me, my children, not as one who flees, but as one who returns to a safe embrace. I do not reject you because of your sins. I welcome you so that you may leave them behind. No life is lost while there is still a listening heart. No soul is condemned while there is still a sincere desire for change. Come to me with your weaknesses, with your falls, with your hidden wounds. Do not be ashamed to acknowledge that you need help. Pride drives away, but humility opens paths. God acts powerfully in hearts that are broken and allow themselves to be guided. I ask you, do not harden your hearts. The world offers easy shortcuts, empty pleasures, and promises that are not fulfilled. God, however, offers a full life, even amidst struggles. Choose today whom you wish to serve. Do not allow evil to guide your decisions, your homes, and your children. Return while there is still time. Abandon that which separates you from grace. Rebuild your life on truth, on love, on faithfulness to God. I walk with you, I intercede for you, and I lead you by the hand when the path seems dark. My beloved children, remain with me and do not close your hearts to these words. I speak to you as a mother who observes from afar and up close each step of her children, each silent fall, each hidden tear, and each estrangement that often happens without the soul even realizing it. How many of you have lived a life marked by sin not because you desire evil, but because you have become accustomed to living far from God, accepting as normal that which slowly corrodes the interior? I see weary hearts, confused minds, and restless souls. I see children who still believe they are on the right path, but who no longer feel peace, no longer feel true joy, no longer recognize the voice of God amidst the noise of the world. Sin, my children, is not only what one does, but also what one fails to do. Failing to love, failing to forgive, failing to seek the truth, failing to heed God's call. Many live today as if evil were something distant, as if it could never touch their houses, their homes, their thoughts. But I tell you, evil begins when the heart turns away from the light and begins to justify the darkness. It begins when error no longer causes pain, when the conscience becomes heavy and yet is silenced. It begins when man chooses to live for himself and forgets God. Therefore, I call you, my children, to true conversion. Conversion is not a superficial change. It is not just empty words or promises. Conversion is allowing God to touch what is hidden, what hurts, what has been neglected for so long. It is recognizing that the path followed has not led to a full life and having the courage to return, even wounded, even tired, even afraid. I reveal to you that an evil spreads silently among the souls that remain distant from God. It does not shout, it does not impose itself violently at first. It seduces, confuses, anesthetizes. This evil teaches that everything is permitted, that nothing has consequences, that there is no absolute truth. Thus, many begin to live without direction, without limits and without hope, believing they are free when, in fact, they are increasingly imprisoned. This evil takes over lives when faith grows cold, when prayer is abandoned, when God no longer occupies the center of the heart. It enters homes through division, indifference, lack of dialogue, pride, and selfishness. It enters families when love is replaced by harshness, when forgiveness is seen as weakness, and when truth is exchanged for convenience. Come to me, my children. Do not wait to be perfect to return. No one approaches God because they are already holy, but because they recognize that they need to be transformed. I welcome you as you are, but not so that you remain as you are. My desire is to lead you back to the light, step by step, respecting the time of each heart, but without allowing you to remain in error. Come to me, those who feel lost, those who no longer know where to begin again, those who carry old guilts and deep wounds. Nothing you experience is unknown in the eyes of God. No fall is greater than His mercy. What He expects is a willing, humble heart, open to change. Do not harden your hearts to this call. The world offers many easy paths, quick promises, and empty pleasures, but all of them leave the soul even hungrier. Only God fills the void that nothing else can fill. Only He restores the peace that sin silently steals. I warn you because I love you. Time is precious and should not be wasted living far from the truth. Each day is an opportunity for return, for reconciliation, for restoration. Do not delay any longer what heaven asks of you today. Do not say that tomorrow will be the right time, for the heart that postpones becomes ever more resistant. Choose life, my children. Choose the light even when it demands renunciation. Choose God even when the world offers you easier paths. Evil will not prevail over those who decide to walk in truth, even with small steps, even with falls, even with tears. I walk with you. I do not abandon you in the inner struggle. I do not leave you alone in the process of conversion. Hold my hand when you feel weak. Listen to this call when the world tries to silence you. There is still time. There is still mercy. There is still hope for those who decide to return. The time you live in demands spiritual vigilance, for many have prepared themselves only for the visible world and have forgotten to care for that which sustains the soul. I ask you, place the sacraments at the center of your homes. Do not treat them as empty symbols or ancient customs, but as living signs of God's presence among you. Where the sacraments are honored, grace finds a dwelling place. Where they are forgotten, the soul becomes vulnerable. A home without God becomes fragile in the face of approaching storms, even though outwardly it may seem strong and organized. Heaven allows me to reveal to you that a great blackout is approaching, and many will interpret it merely as a material collapse, a human failing, an accident of the modern world. But I tell you, my children, it will be part of a deeper plan of confusion and domination. In the darkness, many will lose their way. In the forced silence, many voices will try to impose themselves as saviors. Thus, the enemy will seek to subjugate consciences, control decisions, and turn souls away from the truth. The Antichrist will not rise only by force, but by the seduction of fear and the promise of false order. He will take advantage of human frailty, despair, and the absence of faith to dominate. Where there is no spiritual light, any false light will seem sufficient. Where there is no God, any voice will seem authoritative. Therefore, I warn you now, prepare your homes not only with human resources, but with spiritual life. A protected home is one where the name of God is invoked, where His presence is honored, where one seeks to live in truth. The sacraments are like invisible pillars that support the house when everything around seems to crumble. The Eucharist, when desired and respected, strengthens the soul against fear. Confession cleanses the heart of the breaches through which evil tries to enter. A marriage lived faithfully protects the family against division. Baptism reminds you to whom you belong. None of this is small, none of this is outdated. They are silent weapons despised by many, but feared by evil. When I speak to you of protection, I am not speaking of empty rituals, but of a life aligned with God. It is not enough to place holy signs if the heart remains closed to conversion. The protected home is one where forgiveness is sought, where sin is rejected, where children are taught the path of faith, even when the world ridicules and discredits. The blackout will try to extinguish more than lights. It will try to extinguish hope, trust, and faith. Many will feel lost, manipulated, pressured to accept that which wounds their conscience. Do not let yourselves be led by fear. Those who are firm in God will not be easily deceived, even if they walk through darkness. My children, do not wait for everything to crumble before seeking protection in heaven. The time to prepare your heart is now. The time to strengthen your home is now. The time to return to the sacraments is now. Heaven always warns beforehand, because it loves, because it waits, because it desires to save. Remain attentive but serene. Evil makes noise, God speaks in silence. The enemy threatens, God sustains. Even in the darkest days, those who walk in grace will not walk alone. I will be close to the homes that consecrate themselves to God, to the hearts that remain faithful, to the souls that do not compromise the truth. I ask you with tenderness and firmness, place the sacraments at the center of your homes. Do not allow them to be merely memories of a distant past or occasional practices. The sacraments are the living presence of grace. They are sources that strengthen the soul and protect the heart when evil tries to advance. A home where God dwells is not easily overcome, even when the world around it plunges into confusion. I see many homes where faith has been replaced by haste, weariness, and spiritual indifference. I see families who no longer pray together, who no longer invoke the name of God, who no longer recognize the need for grace. And so, without realizing it, they leave doors open through which fear, division, and lies silently enter. Evil does not force its way in, it takes advantage of the absence of vigilance. I have been allowed to reveal to you that a global blackout is approaching, and many will not understand its true meaning. They will only think of the lack of energy, the collapse of systems, the external disorder. But I tell you, my children, this darkness will seek to be used as an instrument to dominate consciences, to subjugate wills, and to weaken the faith of those who still resist the spirit of this world. The plan of the Antichrist is not manifested only through violence, but through subtle control, through the false promise of security, through the imposition of solutions that demand the renunciation of spiritual freedom. In the confusion, many will accept any voice that promises stability. In fear, many will give up the truth to preserve comfort. Thus, without realizing it, they will surrender what they hold most precious. their own faith. That is why I warn you now. Strengthen yourselves before the trial arrives. A heart rooted in God does not bend easily. A home sustained by the sacraments remains standing even when everything around it falters. Confession purifies the breaches through which evil tries to enter. The Eucharist nourishes the soul and gives strength in dark days. Marriage lived in grace protects the family against division. Baptism reminds you that you belong to God, not to the powers of this world.